Hey, so welcome back from the previous video that we did, and basically we started off setting up our VBA, and then we ended up creating a VBA that will allow us to go from the start page to the next page. You may be thinking, whoa, that was awesome. You're the greatest instructor in the world. I don't know how much more you can teach me. Well, there's a lot more I could teach you in this video. And actually, the only reason why I stopped the previous video is because I had to eat. And I can even prove it to you by having chips right there, right in your ear while you have those earphones on. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and add some more VBA to this thing. We want to add some simple stuff initially, but I also have an idea of everything I'm going to need. And so I know kind of what variables I'm going to need to have this thing work. So let's go back into the code by hitting developer, and I'm going to go view code. This is what we had last time in our start subroutine. So I'm going to want some variables here that I start off with. For instance, I know for a fact I'm going to be needing a score. I know I have a first card, a second card, and I kind of have the idea behind the logic behind those two things based off of the logic sheet that I showed you guys inside of the Excel over here. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start dimming up some of my variables. Now, if you're not familiar with variables, just understand that a variable is simply a container that's designed to hold something like words or numbers or something like that. It could be anything. So we're going to create some variables, and bear with me while I go ahead and type that. Dim is how we always start a variable. I'm going to call this variable first card, and it's going to be a string. And I'm going to create a second card, dim second card. And I'm going to keep adding my variables in this vein. But I think it's probably better that I pause it so this video doesn't go on too long. So instead of me going and typing everything right here, I'm going to pause it for a second. I'm going to type it out, and then I'm going to come back so this video is not like 20 minutes long. Give me a second. All right, so here are all the variables that I believe I'm going to need. I have a first card, a second card, selected card name. And the reason why we have this is because we want to be able to determine which card is selected based off of not the fact that it's uppercase or lowercase, because remember I told you VBA doesn't know the difference between those two. But we're going to take the A and the number 2 out. And all of this will make sense once we get there. So let's go back to our code. So now we have our first selected card, and we have our score variable. Remember that. And what we have right here is just a comment. This is not really code. It's just like a reminder to tell people what's going on, or maybe you're involved with other programmers where they need to know what's going on. And basically that's an apostrophe plus whatever you want to write there. You can write gibberish there. It's not going to cause any problems because it's just a note in a way. Then I have these colors. I have my default color, because we're going to change these colors when they're selected properly or wrong or something like that. I have my selected color, my correct color, my red wrong color, and my green color, which is I'm probably going to use when something is correct, alongside this one maybe. We'll see what happens. I'm not really sure about that, but we'll figure it out when we get there. And then I have these other variables here. Instead of numbers like long and strings, this is going to be my slide. The actual slide. This is going to be my shapes, and this is going to be a series of shapes, and if I need to use a chart. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these two, but I know for a fact I'm going to use these two. And again, it's going to make more sense once we get there. So now that we have all our variables declared, we want to go ahead and actually create something, another routine for when we actually click on a card. And the best name for that will probably be card click or something like that. We'll make this simple. We'll just call it, click card. So we'll say sub and click card. And this click card will take a selected card. And it's going to be a string. Once I hit enter, it's going to go ahead and close that up there. Now I'm going to take this name here And because it's going to enter as a string, I'm going to use this for when my buttons are pressed. So when I click on the A button, it'll send an A inside of here. When I click on the B button, it'll send a B inside of here. So that's basically what that does. So now all I need to do is I'm going to try to make one sub for the button. And maybe that should be called something like just the name of the button. So we'll say sub card underscore A. Let's try A. And then go ahead and close that. And in this card A, we're going to go ahead and call this right here. And inside of there, we're going to give it the name of A, the A card. So when I go back here on this and I select this A, you'll see, remember the names we gave it before? That's the name I'm going to use now. So I'm going back here and I'm going to go ahead and type that name in there, exactly like I have it without the word card. So we're going to call this A underscore 1. So exactly how I have it here without the word card in the beginning. And so I'm going to say whatever that selected card is, selected card, whatever that is, it's going to equal this is the selected card right here. Selected card. Whatever that is going to equal card underscore plus selected card. So whatever I get up in here, which is going to be this A right here, I'm going to bring it down here. So I'm recreating this over here. So there we go. And so this will look something like this. It'll look something like card underscore A underscore 1, which gives me the exact name of the card that I want to select. But I also need just the letter. So I'm going to want the selected name that I created up here, the selected card name. I want that to equal something else. So I'm going to say that's going to equal split. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up this right here so I only get one thing out of it. And the way that works is I type selected card. And I'm going to type a comma. And then I'm going to put open and close quotes. And then I'm going to put an underscore there. Right after that, I'm going to go ahead and put a 1. And this is based off of an array. So just to let you know, what I'm getting from that is like, say, like an A or like a lowercase a. And you notice what I'm doing, I'm putting that apostrophe here. So that way, this is not going to be code, that's just a note. And you don't really have to add that onto yours. But if you wanted to maintain your note taking, you can keep it going that way. Now what I want to be able to do is I want to check this out. I want to be able to see whether if I click on this, if I can get some information back. And just for now, I'm going to access that little test thing that I did down here. This one right here. This one's called selected. So I want to, when I click on one of these, I just want to see it pop up here. So basically what I need to do is call upon my active presentation. And then I'm going to call upon the slides. And then I'm going to select a particular slide. And right now, it's not slide 1. It's in slide 2. Everything I want is in slide 2. So I'm going to go here. Oops. Go here. And put 2 there. And then I'm going to want the shapes inside of slide 2. And the particular shape I want has a name. As you can see here, the name is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put the name in there. And it's called selected. Now I want something out of that name. I want the text that's inside of there. And what VBA refers to it as inside of PowerPoint is a text frame. And then I want the text range, so that way it's the full range. And over here I need this to be a dot here. So there we go. And every time I hit the dot, you'll start seeing it come up, right? You'll see the proper thing help you out a little bit. That's how you know you're on the right track. So text range. If you don't see anything pop up, most of the time you're not doing it right. And I'm going to put that as equals selected card. So I'm going to tell everybody, hey, whenever you click on this, here's your selected card. I'm going to put that as the text, and that's going to be plus the actual selected card name, which is right here. It's going to be this one right here. Remember, I'm just doing this as a test so I can see it actually work. Perfect. Now all I need to do is hook up this A to a button. So I'm going to go back here, select my A button, and I can see here that's the A button. I'm going to go to Insert, and then I'm going to go to Actions. Inside of Actions, I'm going to click the macro, select my A, and then click OK. Now let me go ahead and run this. I should see something pop up in here, so I'm going to hit F5. I go to my next one, I click on this, and there it is. Yes, I selected card A. Perfect. Hit Escape, and now I'm ready to move on. So now that I have that one working, I can actually do the same thing with card, the smaller card, the lowercase card. So I'm going to create another one of these, except we don't want it called that. We want it to be called card A, lowercase a, and then we'll just put another thing on here just so we know what we're dealing with. We'll put LO for lowercase. And then inside the lowercase one, it'll be A, and that'll be 2. Now you see, this is why we added that 2 here. Well, I figured we were going to need this, so that's why we had that there. And then this actually should work. I should hook this up. Let me see. We're going to hook this up now. And I can see I'm on the lowercase a. I'm going to select this one, go to Insert, Run Macro, lowercase a, OK. And now let me hit F5 on this, run it. Start. That one works, and that one works. Yes, both of them work. So now I can see I'm selecting between the 2 A's. Perfect. So I think we've actually gone far enough for this video. In the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up the logic behind how a card is selected, whether it's the first card or it's the second card. And if it's the second card is wrong, you know, that sort of thing. We'll go ahead and start up our scores and that sort of stuff on the next video. I don't want this to go too long. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video, and leave any comments you have in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time.